welcome to SAE-VIT podcast, episode 7. We are bringing to you the Porsche's history, like the present and how it's going. We have a very enthusiastic panel filled with automotive enthusiasts, Abhinav and Param. So yeah,
Hi guys, I hope everyone is doing well. And yeah, how are you, Abhi? All good?
Yeah, all good. Had a nice vacation here with my family. How about you guys?
yeah, it was good back home with family.
I for me also
Yeah,
great only. What can we say more than that?
yeah,
For us, it's back to campus on next week. So, and we have
yeah.
exams after that. So all the best.
Thank you, same to you.
Yeah. So as Nikhil said, the purpose of us being here today is having a great session on Porsche, one of the most legendary brands in automotive industry. I'll let you know a little inside. So when we started the whole idea of podcast, the first episode that we were planning was supposedly the Porsche because it's such a great brand. We thought we would start with it, and we had shooted I think around half an hour of a podcast. But due to various reasons, we just scraped it off, and it is there somewhere in the hiding. Maybe you guys can get it on a later date. But yeah, that was the initial episode, and then we switched it later to McLaren. But yeah, it's great to come back to such a great automotive brand and such a great, just in an industry, it's great to have such a car.
Indeed, like there are
Yeah,
very, what do you say, few brands with such a unique history. Like as I researched more on this thing, it was like
Yeah.
phenomenal. So we'll start from the
yeah,
very beginning, chapter one, like page one, chapter one, whatever you call it. So we'll start with the founder, Ferdinand Porsche, who founded the company called Dr. ING HCF Porsche GmbH, a big name, with Adolf
Yeah.
Rosenberger and Atten Peach in 1931. The name is short for Ferdinand Porsche's full title in German, which is Doctor of Engineering Honorary Degree Ferdinand Porsche. That explains the big title.
yeah,
The main offices was at Kronenstraße in 24 in the center of Stuttgart. Initially, the company offered motor vehicle development work and consulting, but did not build any cars under its own name. One of the first assignments the new company received was from the German government to design a car for the people, that is, a Volkswagen. This resulted in the Volkswagen Beetle, one of the most successful car designs of all time, and I would say it's a classic. Every time I spot a Beetle, it's just like, don't you feel it's just a
Yeah, it's
unique.
iconic. Like, yeah,
yeah. It's classic,
the
but they
different design it has.
discontinued it.
It's not fast. It's not like that hypercar, but
Yeah,
yeah, I love this car.
Yeah, it has those curves, and Volkswagen clearly thought about it. It was different for that time. I remember the advertisement for the car was that it would be a family car, a five-seater car. Before that, we did not really have that concept in the industry. So Volkswagen introduced that concept, and yeah, since then it has been a tried and tested method for most of the automotive manufacturers.
True, true. It was
So
like
I mean, I just love it
one of the good
for, I
things.
mean, those curves that it has on its like the side skirts and all that. It's just different. When you see it, you know it's different. So yeah,
it's a car you can never hate.
Yeah, it's one of the good things that Hitler did. He promoted it a lot. I was just seeing it on YouTube. He had a Volkswagen Beetle. It's in History Museum there in Germany. It's like the car that he wanted, it seems, at that time. So he had many of the features
I
into it. But I was really sad that they discontinued the car. People don't appreciate it now that much because it's all about the hype, about the muscle cars. Then it lost all its, fine tuning, fine features.
True, true. Now it's all about going fast and nothing.
Yeah,
So back to the like start. So during World War II, Volkswagen production turned to the military version of the Volkswagen Beetle. the Kubelwagen, 52,000 produced, and Schimwagen, which was 15,584 produced. Porsche produced several designs for heavy tanks during the war, losing out to Henschel and Son in both contracts that ultimately led to the Tiger 1 and the Tiger 2. Like if you're into military vehicles, you probably know about these two iconic tanks. However, not all this
I
work.
don't know, but yeah.
Yeah, it's at the same level as a Panzer and all. You might know about Panzer.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's all
Okay.
in the
Yeah. Yeah.
reels. I saw it. They drift
Yeah.
the car, history of this car, history of Porsche. They just show it.
However, not all this work was wasted, as the chassis Porsche designed for the Tiger 1 was used as the base for the Elephant tank destroyer. Porsche also developed the Moss super heavy tank in the closing stages of the war, producing two prototypes. Ferdinand Porsche's biographer Fabian Müller wrote that Porsche had thousands of people forcibly brought to work at their factories during the war. The workers wore the letter P on their clothing at all times. It stood not for Porsche but for Poland. So,
I mean, okay. Yeah. It's not really related to our topic, but
yeah.
But
I mean, it's all about. We'll just blame it on Hitler. I think that's the best way to sum it up.
yeah,
Uh, I think he got what he deserved in the end. Either way,
it brought in revenue for the government of that government. They did stuff with those that we do not like to discuss.
So, at the end of World War II in 1945, the Volkswagen factory at Kdf fell to the British. Ferdinand lost his position as the chairman of the board of management of Volkswagen, and Ivan Hurst, a British army major, was put in charge of the factory. In Wolfsburg, the Volkswagen Company magazine dubbed him the British major who saved Volkswagen. On 15 December of that year, Ferdinand was arrested for war crimes but not tried. During his 20-month imprisonment, Ferdinand Porsche's son, Ferry Porsche, decided to build his own car because he could not find an existing one that he wanted to buy. He also had to steer the company through some of its most difficult days until his father's release in August 1947. The first models of what has to become the 356 were built in a small sawmill in Mund in Austria. The prototype car was shown to German auto dealers, and when pre-orders reached a set threshold, production was begun by Porsche, founded by Ferry and Louis. Many regarded the 356 as the first Porsche simply because it was the first model sold by the fledgling company after production of the 356 was taken over by the father's Dr. ING HCF Porsche GmbH, which was his name.
I don't think you have to mention his entire name every time you say it. We
Okay,
get
okay.
it. Okay.
So I'll just say as
Yeah.
Dr.
So I
Ferdinand
mean,
Porsche.
yeah, I think that's enough.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, we know that Ferry Porsche was the one who started the entire Porsche brand after getting inspiration from his father. What is important to know is that at that time, in 1945, the World War had ended. But the German and the other nations surrounding Germany, they always supported automotive, or in that sense, any other industry which was going to help them build up their nation again. So because of that, if you see in that era, a lot of companies had a lot of funding, uh, because of which they could create models such as the 356, right?
Hmm.
So as to make headways in the respective domains. About the 356, what I would say is that it's one of the most legendary cars. It is inspired from the Beetle. You can see that Volkswagen Beetle is an inspiration for that car. And what is more important is that it is one of the most celebrated and one of the most successful cars ever to be driven, if I'm not wrong. It has won almost every race it has entered. It has been consistent, and yeah, it just symbolized Porsche as a company, I would say.
I mean,
Uh,
yeah, true. Like,
Agree, agree.
I'd like to add completely apart from the topic, right? So World War II and World War One both gave us like big names in automotives. It was
Right.
after the war that we got big names such as Porsche. There were, I guess, Ford. There was, I guess, Volkswagen as well. And
No, Ford is like the no.
Yeah,
Ford existed in the 1800s also. If I'm not like 1890, like 1891, 92 also they had because Henry Ford started the entire production line system.
yeah.
So
oh,
And
Ford
they
is,
helped
if I'm not wrong,
America
the
in the war.
oldest company.
then I might
But
have
yeah, I
misheard.
mean, to that point, yes, a lot
Yeah,
of other German companies also like Audi and they all came
Hmm.
about at the same time. So yeah,
Even
continue.
Bugatti. So
Bugatti, I don't know about history. You have done the
we
episode
have
on
we have
that,
done
so
an episode on it.
exactly. So I don't know. But yeah, continue.
So Porsche commissioned a Zuffenhausen-based company, Reuter Kasuri, which had previously collaborated with the firm on Volkswagen Beetle prototypes to produce the 356 steel body, as you mentioned, like how why it looked so similar to the Volkswagen Beetle was. So in 1952, Porsche constructed an assembly plant across the street from Reuter Kasuri, the main road in front of Werk 1. The oldest Porsche building is now known as Porsche Stress. The 356 was road certified in 1948. So Porsche's company logo stems from the coat of arms of the Free People's State of Württemberg of Weimar, Germany, of 1918 to 1933, which had Stuttgart as its capital. And the arms of Stuttgart appear in the middle of the logo as uh, in Sichtan. I don't know if I butchered it. For the company had its
Fine, it's fine.
For the company had its headquarters in Stuttgart. The heraldic symbols combined with the text of Porsche and Stuttgart do not form a conventional coat of arms, since heraldic achievements never spell out the name of the Amiga nor the Amiga's hometown in the shield. Württemberg-Baden and Württemberg-Hohenzollern, both in 1952, became part of the present Bundesland of Baden-Württemberg after the political consolidation of West Germany in 1949, but the old design of the arms of Württemberg lives on in the Porsche logo. On 30 January 1951, not long before the formation of Baden-Württemberg, Ferdinand Porsche died from complications following a stroke. In post-war Germany, parts were generally in short supply, so the 356 automobile used company components from the Volkswagen Beetle, including the engine case from its internal combustion engine, transmission, and several parts used in the suspension. The 356, however, had several evolutionary stages A, B, and C while in production, and most Volkswagen sourced parts were replaced by Porsche made parts. Beginning in 1954, the 356's engine started utilizing engine cases designed specifically for the 356. The sleek bodywork was designed by Erwin Komenda, who also had designed the body of the Beetle. Porsche's signature designs have from the beginning featured air-cooled rear engine configurations like the Beetle, rare for the other car manufacturers but producing automobiles that are very well balanced. In 1964, after a fair amount of success in motor racing with various models including the 550 Spider and with the 356 needing a major redesign, the company launched the Porsche 911, another air-cooled rear-engine
Okay, wait,
sports
wait.
car.
When you come to that, I would just like to say, if I'm not wrong, I think the 356 had a flat four, right?
Had a flat
Do
four.
you guys know about it?
I
yeah.
Uh,
I think
I
it had
if
I
flash.
think yeah.
because yeah. So I mean, I think if one of you know what a flat four is, can you just
Hmm.
explain it too? Like
So it's a engine configuration. In inline engine,
right?
all your
Yeah.
in pistons are lined up side by side
No, no.
in a line.
Wait. I think inline is different and flat is different. So
Yeah,
flat
I'm
is
explaining
your
in terms of
boxer type
inline.
engine,
Yeah,
right?
boxer type engine.
Okay,
Correct.
okay, fine.
So in
Okay,
inline, your
okay. You just explain.
pistons are in your inline.
Inline
Your
is
pistons are aligned like four pistons side by side,
Right,
and in a boxer or
right.
a flat engine, you'll have your pistons located
yeah.
side by side connected to the same crankshaft.
Right. Okay, great. So I mean, I think this is one of the major reasons why Porsche was so efficient, I would say, because in an inline engine or a V-type engine, the amount of efficiency is not as much as a boxer engine. In a boxer engine, the pistons are in a horizontal manner, right? So
Hmm.
because of that, your force is much better and it is just more efficient. And yeah, I think it was one of the. I mean, I think Porsche still uses this configuration, although it has evolved from air cooled to water cooled, and other types. But I think it has always used this boxer system because it is a trusted system and it has always been successful. And as they say, when it's working, why change it?
Yeah, if it's
But yeah,
not broken,
that's
don't
that's
fix
all.
it.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So yeah.
So back to the 911. So the Porsche 911 was another air-cooled rear-engine sports car. This time with a six-cylinder boxer engine, as we said, the flat four. This time it had a
Yeah,
six-cylinder
yeah, yeah.
six-cylinder box engine. The team to lay out the body shell design was led by Ferry Porsche's eldest son, Ferdinand Alexander Porsche. The design phase for the 911 caused internal problems with Erwin Comenda, who led the body design department. Until then, Ferdinand Porsche complained. Comenda made unauthorized changes to the design. Company leader Ferry Porsche took his son's drawing to neighboring chassis manufacturers, Reuter. Reuter's workshop was later acquired by Porsche. Afterward, Reuter became a seat manufacturer today known as Caper Recaro. The design office gave sequential numbers to every project, but the designated 901 nomenclature contravened Peugeot's trademark on all XOX names, so it was adjusted to
Right.
911.
Oh, this is a great. Oh, this is actually a very good story. I don't know if you guys know.
The Peugeot story.
So initially, if I'm not wrong, Porsche, the 911 was supposed to be 901, right?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Uh, so because of this Porsche's use of the zero in the middle, that is the 901, Porsche could not bring out any cars, or any other manufacturer in the European segment could not bring out any other cars which had an initial of zero in it. I mean, I think if I'm not wrong, Porsche 305, it's a very legendary rally car. So I mean, it has that 305, so zero over there. So because of that, we would have never gotten the 911. It was supposed to be a 901.
901.
But thanks to Peugeot, we got another legendary name, and 911 has just continued to be a legendary name for all of us.
True.
So yeah, continue.
So the 911 has become Porsche's most well-known model, successful on the racetrack.
Right.
In rallies and in terms of road car sales, it remains in production. However, after several generations of revision, current model 911s share only the basic mechanical configuration of a rear engine, six-cylinder coupe, and basic styling cues with the original car. A cost-reduced model with the same body but with a 356 derived four-cylinder engine was sold as the 912. So this I had like read about, I guess when I was in 10th. I was just
Yeah.
bored in class, so I was just looking up online how to buy a Porsche, and then it showed me like a cheap Porsche was the
In
912.
class,
Yeah,
sir, in class, you're using a
in
phone.
class.
online class. No?
Oh, COVID batch. I forget COVID
Yeah,
batch. Crazy.
yeah, COVID.
Crazy,
We had no board
crazy.
exams.
I
And I
lucky
guess
people. I had to give my 10th and 12th.
12th.
I don't know what kind of sense I did.
I only had to give 12th.
I had to attend both and I had +2 in COVID. That's crazy. You didn't give a board exam. Good for you. Good for you.
So yeah,
Anyways, continue.
have you like before I pass on to Abhinav, have you guys seen that one like? Do you know about Porsche's racing history with the 911?
I mean, I won't remember it note to note, but
Yeah,
I mean, if you say something, I would react. Like, I
Like
would know, like, okay, this
I
has
I
happened.
don't I'm not sure if it's the 911 or the 992, but you like there was this one meme floating around. Like
Okay.
it was like a layman's history of winners, and every car was a Porsche
everything
Really?
is
except for that
Porsche.
one
Yeah,
BMW.
I know that one. I mean, okay, so one of the biggest thing that I like about Porsche is that their advertisement is crazy. I mean, if you go through your Insta scrolls or
Yeah,
anything
the
in
photo
Porsche,
shoots
like if
in
you get
general.
Porsche advertisements,
Yeah.
I mean, they're all crazy. I don't know, like, can we pull up some Insta posts like Porsche advertisements? Crazy it is.
Uh, would be difficult, but wait, I'll look up
I
that
think if you can
specific one.
share a
I
screen, it just,
Porsche.
yeah, I mean, you can just look it up. It's fine. Okay, so I have one. I'll just read it out. Honestly, now, did you spend your youth dreaming about something, someday owning a Nissan or a Mitsubishi? And on the bottom, it's
I mean, that's what happened to Ferrari as well. But I've never seen any ad with Ferrari like this.
yeah.
So Abhinav, take on
Yeah.
forward, lead us.
So transitioning into the 70s, particularly in 1972, the company's legal form was changed from KG or limited partnership to AG, a public limited company, because Ferry Porsche came to believe the scale of the company outgrew the family operation. After learning about Honda's no family company policy at Honda, this led to the establishment of exclusive board with members from outside the Porsche family and the uh, just a second. Yeah, the light just went out here. Uh, this led
Crazy,
to the establishment.
crazy.
Yeah,
Where do you
we are
live?
not in hostel.
Uh,
Thank God. Hyderabad.
oh, right. But you are actually an NRI, right? If I'm not wrong.
Uh, yeah, till 10th, I studied in Oman.
Right.
Then in my
Oh
12th,
man, oh my God, same country as Soham. Have you talked to Soham about
yeah,
it?
yeah, we talked about it.
Oh, okay. Coming back to your topic.
Yeah, they established an executive board with members from outside the Porsche family. The supervisory board consisting legendary or family names, legally family names. With this change, most family members in the operation of the company, including F.A. Porsche and Ferdinand Porsche, departed from the company. Yeah, just like they told, Honda is a Japanese company.
Hmm.
Yeah, they always focus on what you say output, not only the legacy that they bring. Like many other companies, even video games, the founders they just give it to the company, Nintendo, so they take care of it. So they try to transition their family-run business to like a board committee, just like all other companies that were doing those.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
uh, F.A. Porsche founded his own design company, Porsche Design, which is renowned for exclusive sunglasses, watches, furniture, and many other luxury articles. Uh,
Yeah.
Louis, Louis' sons and Ferrari's nephew, Ferdinand Porsche, who was responsible for mechanical developments of Porsche's productive and race cars, including the very successful 911, 908, and 917 model, formed his own engineering bureau and developed a five-cylinder inline design engine from Mercedes-Benz. Just like Nikhil was talking before, this time instead of a flat engine, they went for an inline engine.
Five-cylinder inline.
Uh, yeah, five-cylinder inline engine. A short time later, he moved to Audi, which was also a division in Volkswagen Group, and pursued his career through the entire company, ultimately becoming the chairman of Volkswagen Group.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
Volkswagen actually
I
owns a
think
lot of.
yeah, I think what we failed to mention is that every 911 is a 911, right? But
Yeah,
internally, Porsche names a 911. So the current generation is a 992,
Hmm.
if I'm not wrong. So I mean, yeah. So internally, it has different names. Like now, Abhinav said 908 or 917 or 964 or 930. Porsche, it is important for them to have an internal badging so that they can identify which model of 911 the customer is actually talk about. And I mean, it is important to also know that after the initial success of 911 in the mid 70s and the 80s, what had happened that eventually everyone else, such as your Lamborghini, Ferrari, other brands had gained a successful market share in the let's say supercar industry, because Porsche is not technically a supercar. It is just a car which we love to drive. It's a fun for driven car. So I mean, Lamborghini and Ferrari and okay, we can't say Aston Martin, but like other brands had taken more significance over increasing, let's say, the performance of the car. And it was not just about fun to drive. It was at extent a danger to drive those cars. Like the I don't know if you can say, but the Miura was quite a dangerous car when it was launched. Or the terrestrial, like alien form of Countach when it was launched. It was just like
Yeah.
out of this world. No one had ever seen anything like that before. So I mean, Porsche was not focusing on it. Like even if you see the first 911 and the 911 which is currently working, they're almost identical. You can know that it is a continuation of that simple formula that they have started with. So that is important to note, I think. And due to this, Porsche had a lot of struggles in that era. They were not selling that well. They were only focusing on a very small market, which was a super coupe, you could say. Or they had like a derivation of 911, such as the Targa model or the other models. But in general, Porsche was struggling, like most companies, also due to the uh, gas crisis which happened in the 70s. So, yeah, all those things are considered. I think now Abhinav can take us to the next topic properly.
Yeah, so the first chief executive officer, also the CEO of the Porsche AG, was Ernst Furhman, who had been working in the company's engine department division. Furman was responsible for the so-called Fuhrman engine used in the 356 Carrera model, as well as the 550 Spider. Oh, that's a new topic all in itself, the Spider. Having four
Even the Carrera.
overhead camshafts. Yeah, even the Carrera.
Yeah, yeah.
Every model can have its own, what do you say, top time
Except
of
for tech.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when you see as a whole, the company is crazy. The all the
yeah.
cars that I've made, I think hardly any of them are failures. I don't think they have been failures in terms of engineering skill and all that.
Taycan.
So I mean, yeah,
It's
okay.
it's electric, right? Taycan turbo.
Yeah, yeah. But it had a
I mean,
brake line issue, right?
Yeah, braking. Yeah, brake line issue. We know the case in Pune.
but I don't consider electric cars as cars. So we will
Yeah,
just
same, same.
keep it
Hot
on
That's
the
a
take,
different
hot
side.
topic.
take.
So we don't have to discuss that. Do we make an episode on Tesla? No, we don't, because it's not
No, 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 no.
engineering. It's just electricity. I
Yeah.
don't like it. Yeah. Either way.
It had four overhead camshafts instead of a central camshaft with push rods, as the Volkswagen derived serial engines. He planned to seize the 911 during the 1970s and replace it with the V8 front engine, Grand Superwagon 928. As we know
Right.
today, the 911 outlived 928. Nobody, I don't think many people have heard about 928. It's all
Yeah, I mean,
911.
if you see one of the Top Gear episodes, I think they have done a Porsche challenge in which I think one of them bring a 9 to it, but the other two guys just laugh at him. So yeah, it's not a good car. Yeah.
Fuhrman was
So
replaced in the early 1980s by Peter W.S., an American manager and self-proclaimed 911. What do you say? He was the admirer of 911. He was then replaced in 1988 by the former manager of German computer company, Nixdorf Company AG, Arno Born. was made some costly miscalculations that led to the uh, dismissal soon after, along with that of the development directory. Dr. Ulrich Benz, who formerly responsible for the BMW Z1 model and was CEO of Aston Martin from 2000 to 2013.
BMW Z1 is, I think, it's the one which has those sliding doors, right?
Hmm,
Have
hmm,
you seen
hmm,
that?
hmm.
Right. So like the
Yeah,
doors slide, not like how your windows slide down. The entire door only
Door
slides down. That
slides,
was
yeah.
crazy engineering for BMW. Crazy.
I think
Okay.
I think Lamborghini was the first to introduce the sliding doors, right? Means up to down.
No,
I
no, no,
don't
no.
know that.
I think Lambo first introduced
Uh,
suicide doors. No, suicide doors was Cadillac. Was it Cadillac?
I don't know. I just like that BMW Z1 doors, the way that they come down.
Yeah, true,
Either
true.
ways, I
Yeah,
mean, now though no one does all those things. They just put butterfly wings and all that. I don't
Yeah,
like
mm.
it, but
true.
okay. Okay, either ways, continue.
So continuing, in 1990, Porsche drew up a memorandum of understanding with Toyota to learn and benefit from Japanese learn manufacturing method. In 2004,
Hmm.
it was reported that Toyota was assisting Porsche with hybrid technology.
Ahead of its time.
Yeah, I think,
Yeah,
yeah, but I mean, Toyota has always had a good scope in learning the hybrid technology. I think it was the first ones to, bring out that powertrain, and even now, I think it is the first one to bring out the hydrogen powertrain. So Toyota, in their own way, has always had a fundamental learning, and they have been a master in lean manufacturing. So yeah, whoever does that, Toyota is the first example for that.
I mean, I've
So Toyota
always
has
loved
always been
Toyota
in.
engineering.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that Toyota has never been into like race. How do you say motorsport that much? Like not in that significant. Like it's not like the iconic brands. But if you see in the last 10 years of Le Mans, I think Toyota's team has been one of the most successful
Hmm.
until Ferrari got there. And I mean, yeah, Toyota. Even it was in F1 before the whole financial what was
Takeover.
it? The all down in 2008.
Hmm.
Yeah, the Great Depression. So yeah, Toyota was in F1 and it is back in F1 now with Haas. So Toyota
cars.
has always been in motorsport, but it's just that no one has noticed them enough, I feel, because it can compete on the levels of Porsche and Lamborghini,
I mean,
and it is just as
it has
good.
one of the most iconic cars anyway. Like
Are
it's
you
a
talking about the
Supra.
Supra?
Everyone loves the Supra.
Okay. Okay, in straight line, okay, sir, maybe, but in turns and all, no Supra, sir. It
And
will
not even a
go
straight line.
elastic and all.
I prefer it as a drift car.
Oh, please. I mean, look. I like the fifth generation. I hate the fourth generation.
I
Okay,
like the third
the
gen.
fourth generation, it just goes in straight line. You cannot take it in corners and all. It
Yeah,
will
true,
just go.
true.
But I like the fifth generation. I think it's much better.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, fifth generation was like, I guess the new one, right?
Yeah, the new one.
Hmm. I think
The fourth
that's
one is
good.
the one in the 90s. That is crazy car.
That's like
Yeah.
what got like Fast and Furious to be Fast and Furious, right?
Yeah,
True. I mean that, like, yeah. I mean, we should maybe do an episode on Fast and Furious. It has, in a way, created that culture of
like
having
that.
cheap
Yeah,
cars and going super fast.
I mean,
Before
GTR,
that, it only
JDM,
existed in Japan, but yeah, Fast and Furious made it global.
true, true.
in one of the movies, didn't Vin Diesel modify the Benz? It was not Benz, Beetle. In the start during the race, he dismantled it and
Oh, I know that scene, the
yeah,
Cuba scene, right?
yeah,
Oh, yeah, I remember. Like he drives it reversed in like and
yeah,
like
yeah,
crazy shit it does.
yeah, it's
I
crazy.
don't get that scene, but okay. I mean, what I okay. So there's that one scene in that movie in which it is just like he's putting the nitro in the Beetle, and the guy whose car he's driving, he asks why. What is that? And he's like, it's Cuban Knox. And I'm like, what is Cuban Knox? I've never heard of a Cuban
Oh
Knox
wait,
before.
is it
But
9?
I think it is nine. I'm not sure though. I think it was the one with John Cena. Yeah,
John
I think it
Cena.
is the one with John Cena.
I think it's 9
I
then.
think that is nine. Yeah, probably. But I mean, it's crazy. He's like driving that car in reverse, and he's able to win against. I think it was a muscle car. I don't know which muscle car, but it was another muscle car, and it was like pretty good. But it is driving in reverse, and it is beating that car. So crazy movie they make. But yeah,
Remake.
like as they've progressed into like the sequel, it has just become less and less real. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's fine, I guess.
The last, I guess, Fast and Furious was the one I watched was where they sent a car to outer space.
Okay,
Oh
that was
yeah, I think that is nine only. I
yeah,
think they do it at the end of
yeah. It's
nine.
in the
They
end
like
of
send a
nine. Yeah.
car,
They
and
sent a
that is
car.
also an Opel, if I'm not wrong. Opel is going in space. Crazy. Okay, coming back to our
Coming back to
topic.
topic.
Uh,
Okay,
okay, guys. I have to get back to campus. I have a bus to catch. So,
भाई
Param
दुख
bhaiya,
भरी
we'll
कहानी.
be continuing. Bye. Take care.
Yeah, have fun,
Okay.
Nikhil. निखिल
Have
क्यों
fun.
बोल रहा हूँ मैं हर बार? Have fun in
Okay.
अभी in your travel, and I hope you have a
Okay.
great time traveling
Thank
to
you.
our nightmare. But yeah, chalo, bye
Okay.
bye.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
Bye bye.
Following the dismissal of Born Heinz Branitzky, a longtime Porsche employee, was appointed as interim CEO. Branitzky served in that position until Wendelin Weitking became CEO in 1993. Weitking took over the chairmanship of the board at a time when Porsche appeared vulnerable to a takeover by a larger company. During his long tenure, Weitking transformed Porsche into a very efficient and profitable company. Ferdinand Porsche's nephew Ferdinand Peach was chairman and CEO of the Volkswagen Group from 1993 to 2002 and is chairman of the Volkswagen AG Supervisory Board since then. With 12.8% of the Porsche SE voting shares, he also remains the second largest individual shareholder of Porsche SE after his cousin FA Porsche, which had 13.6%. Porsche's 2002 introduction of the Cayenne also marked the unveiling of a new production facility in Leipzig, Saxony, which once accounted for nearly half of Porsche's annual output. In 2004, production of the 456 kilowatts Carrera GT commenced in Leipzig, and at Euro 450,000, which is around $440,000 in the United States. It was the most expensive production model Porsche ever built.
Yeah,
In
I mean, I think this is a sign of Porsche evolving, right? If I'm not
Yeah,
wrong.
like it's
I
in the mid
mean,
sense.
yeah, I mean, the Cayenne is a SUV, as we know, and the way that they marketized it was like a SUV that could reach anywhere and everywhere in the country or in the world for that instance. And I think Toyota also helped in the production of Cayenne because of their partnership that they had started. And Porsche, due to their struggling of not selling as many sports cars as they wanted to, they really require to have a model such as the Cayenne, which would be a mass production model which could be sold to a lot of people.
I mean, everyone
So
wants a
this was
family car,
Porsche.
right?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, the trend of SUV has only increased since the start of 2000s. So I mean, it is clear to see that Porsche was going with the evolution of the manufacturing. And yeah,
So in mid 2006, after years of the Boxster as the best-selling Porsche in North America, the 911 regained its position as Porsche's bestseller in the region. The Cayenne and 911 have cycled as the top-selling models since. In Germany, the 911 outsells the Boxster, Cayman, and Cayenne. I guess even in India, most people would prefer the Cayenne, right? Because it just makes more sense
yeah,
in
I
India.
mean, okay, before the introduction of Macan, I think in 2015 or 2014, everyone, I mean, Cayenne was the norm. And after Macan, I think people have just switched to Macan because it's a more cheaper and at the same time almost the
Hmm.
same car. It is just has a smaller wheelbase. I would say it's like sub 4 meter. I don't know for sure, but I think it's 4.1, 4.2 meters, while Cayenne is like 4.5, 4.6. So I mean, Macan makes sense for a lot of users, not only in India, but in like in general. Macan was that entry point Porsche that you could buy. So it made sense for people to buy that.
I guess that shift from SU, like from a sports car to an SUV, was not only seen in Porsche, but in other car companies as well. For example,
Yeah, yeah.
that's how we got the Urus, the one car by
Yeah, I
Lamborghini.
mean, you could have never imagined Lambo doing a SUV, would you have? I think they have that one model in the 70s or 80s, which they made it for the US military.
The Jeep
But
type,
other than
yeah.
that, I think they have, yeah, I don't know the exact name. I think it was in Lambo, like in Lamborghini's internal coding was LM02, I think, if I'm not wrong. But other than that, Lamborghini has never ever touched that space until the Urus.
True, true.
So yeah, this is just a transition that we have seen
Now
in
they even have a
general.
boat.
I mean, the first time I saw that, I was like, what is happening? Why do we have a? I mean, first I didn't believe it, but after that, I was like, okay, now we have this also. Good. Yeah.
Do you think Porsche would make a boat?
No, I don't think. I never think they will make a boat. Honest to God, I am. I still don't believe how Lamborghini made a boat. I've never seen it in like in live. Okay, I've just seen it in photos and videos. I'm like,
Same,
okay,
same,
but
same.
I don't know.
I want to see Porsche. Like, how would Porsche make a boat though?
No, Porsche. How can Porsche make a boat? I mean,
That's what we
okay,
thought about
Lamborghini
Lamborghini.
stretched it too far. Ah, but they stretched it too far, dude. I don't think they should make a boat. I don't think any like okay, you keep the boats on the side. Nah, like you stick to your industry.
Okay.
Don't be like Tesla, growing in every industry possible.
Robots.
Either ways. Yeah, now robots. I mean, what is wrong with that company? I don't get it. First, they make cars which are not living. Like at least combustion cars, we can say they have a soul. This car does not have soul. Now those cars are autonomous. Crazy things the Tesla is doing.
True,
Either
true.
ways, back to Porsche.
So yeah, back to Porsche. We'll go back to May 2011. Porsche Cars
Yeah.
North America announced plans to spend 80 to 100 million dollars, but will receive about 15 million dollars in economic incentives to move their North American headquarters from Sandy Springs, a suburb of Atlanta, to Aerotropolis, Atlanta, a new mixed-use development on the site of the old Ford Hapeville plant adjacent to Atlanta's airport, designed by architectural firm HOK. The headquarters will include a new office building and test track. The facility will be its new address, 1 Porsche Drive. In October 2017, Porsche Cars North America announced the launch of Porsche Passport, a new sports car and SUV subscription program. This new offering allows consumers to access Porsche vehicles through subscribing to the service rather than owning or leasing a vehicle. The Porsche Passport service was available initially at Atlanta and has become available in many major cities across the US. During the COVID-19 pandemic in March 2020, Porsche suspended its manufacturing in Europe for 2 weeks. By taking this step, the sports car manufacturer is responding to the significant acceleration in the rate of infection caused by the coronavirus and the resultant measures implemented by the relevant authorities. In August 22, Bloomberg News reported that Porsche has lined up interest in subscription of its initial public offering for a valuation between USD 60 to 85 billion dollars. It is expected to be listed on Frankfurt Stock Exchange in September. The company has always had a close relationship with initially the Volkswagen marque and later the Volkswagen, which also owns Audi AG, because the first Volkswagen Beetle was designed by Ferdinand Porsche. So that was the present, the
Yeah,
post-war,
I mean, okay,
and the
so like if
past.
you see about it, I think after the Okay, so after the Great Depression that everyone saw in the housing market, which was due to the US housing market, that is, what had happened, I think the story is quite interesting. So, like at the start of 2000s, Porsche started buying shares in Volkswagen,
Hmm.
since Volkswagen was like closed, and the plan of Porsche was to like completely own or major like own the majority of Volkswagen, so that they could have a larger budget, and all those other brands which come under the Volkswagen logo could also help Porsche. So that was their plan. But by the time that this happened, like they were gaining shares of Volkswagen slowly and slowly, and by the time it came to a tipping point, due to the 2008 depression, Porsche itself had gone bankrupt. So
Hmm.
now Porsche was in a situation where they had a lot of shares in Volkswagen, like I think 40% of the shares in Volkswagen, and they themselves were bankrupt. So they could not continue without having any idea of what to do. So what instead happened was Volkswagen offered that they would just buy Porsche as a whole, and Porsche would come under their bandwagon. So that is what happened. Crazy story again. But I mean, after that, Porsche has quite cemented itself. It has been in a steady grow. They have launched a lot more variants, and due to the backing of the bigger brand of Volkswagen, they are able to get more models out there, which is what we love. I mean, it has, due to this, it has also created the Porsche Taycan, which I mean, I'm not thrilled about, but
No
it
one's
is
thrilled
what
about
is
it.
happening in the industry. Yeah, but it is what it is happening in the industry, so we cannot say Porsche for not having that. But Porsche itself believes that it can make as many combustion models of 911 as it wants to. It has never ever said that it will betray the combustion engine model, and it will always stick to it, even though other companies are now fully moving towards the electrical panel. Porsche always has committed itself for making those combustion models, which is, I think, it just sticks to the root of the 911, if I'm not wrong.
I mean, yeah,
Because,
true.
okay, even if, yeah, I mean, if you think about it, Porsche as a brand is iconic. But 911 as itself is also an iconic. If you just want to keep the 911, if you say to anyone that's a 911, they will know what a 911 is. So, I mean, it is important to know that the brand is outliving itself right now.
True.
Uh, Either way, I mean, it has cemented itself in the last 10 years. I think it has been a lot more stable. Models such as Macan has come out, and I think if Porsche comes out with its Porsche Mission X car, which is supposed to rival the McLaren W1 and the F80. I hope it's not an electric again, because they've said that it would be an electric, but I hope it's not an electric and they'll come back to their
It
senses.
shouldn't be an electric.
But yeah, yeah, I mean, okay, so I think what we should also discuss about is the Holy Trinity itself, because
Yeah, that I guess is
Porsche
a
with the 918 Spider
that
is
is
itself an iconic car.
that
Uh, yeah,
that would be a
you
topic
can
for
say.
another episode though. So
Yeah, I mean, we can bring it in the next episode if we can possibly try the Holy Trinity. But yeah, I think Porsche as a brand is itself crazy, and it has always been about performance and endurance. And it has continuously made efforts to make sure that it never falls away from that essence of its company. So yeah,
I mean, with that said, I guess we have summed it all up. The entire Porsche history,
yeah,
present, origins, the Volkswagen tie-up, and with that, it's safe to say we can now conclude the Porsche episode. So, thank you for everyone
I'm fine
watching.
with it. I mean, yes, have fun wherever you're watching it from. I hope you had fun, and yeah, we'll just keep making as many as we can until I guess we all leave our positions. But yeah, have fun. Hope you had a lot of fun watching this, and we'll see you in the next one.
Okay, guys. Bye.